Hi, my name is Stephanie Castro, and today I'm going to talk to you about the cultural differences between Colombia and the United States. A lot can be learned by discovering a new culture, especially one that is different from your own. If we can open our eyes to new ideas and outlooks on life, it'll only grow our own identity and beliefs of ourselves. This will create a better global community. Colombia is a beautiful country with different values and traditions than the United States. I can personally attest to these differences in my interracial marriage with a Colombian man. The differences affect our daily life, whether big or small. Traditions, religion, and even food have affected our marriage throughout the past few years. According to Wikipedia, Colombia is officially called the Republic of Colombia and was originally inhabited by indigenous tribes. The Spanish arrived in 1499, and Colombia finally won its independence in 1819. However, it was not officially called Republic of Colombia until 1886. Colombia is extremely diverse, including Africans, Spanish, and Europeans. Colombia's main religion is Roman Catholic, and according to the CIA fact book, about 90% of Colombians are Roman Catholic. This is a very high amount, especially when looked at other countries. Many countries are not one religion in such a strong number. This means that many Colombians practice Roman Catholicism very strictly. They go to Mass every Sunday, if not throughout the week. They participate in confession, they participate in First Communion, and they pray to the saints and to Mary as well. Some even light candles for the saints through their prayers. Religious differences can cause many conflicts as seen in history, even wars. In my marriage, this was one small conflict. I was raised Christian and my husband was raised Roman Catholic. He had done his First Communion, had participated in all the Catholic traditions throughout his life. I had, however, not done any of those things. And in fact, we had some difficulty finding a priest that would marry us due to these conditions. Sometimes his family would have been offended because of the things I did not know about their religion or the things that I did not believe that they did not believe. Compromise is the key to success in differences of culture in these situations. It's important both sides feel that their cultural beliefs and traditions are followed and respected. One small aspect of this that we found was the celebration of Christmas. Christmas was very different in my home compared to my husband's home because of religion. In my home, we celebrated with Santa Claus and with presents and everything red and green. And in my husband's home, they did not believe in Santa Claus or follow that tradition with their children. On Christmas Eve, their traditions were to go to Mass, which usually lasted 2 to 3 hours. And then after that, they would have a large family gathering at someone's home, which included a large meal. And then at that point, there would be music and dancing and pretty much a party until about midnight when presents are opened, if you can make it to that point. When the presents are open, though, there are some prayers and other things said, and it is recognized that the presents are from baby Jesus and not from Santa Claus. As I had said before, compromise is the key to success in differences of culture. And in the first couple years of our relationship, we decided to alternate these traditions. And now that we have children of our own, we try to incorporate both aspects of these traditions. We try to do Santa Claus, but we also keep with going to Mass and doing the family festivities on Christmas Eve as well. So in this sense, our children get both the parties in one, which works out really good for them. Another tradition in Colombia that is not kept in the United States, a couple other traditions, are Friendship Day, the Festival of Flowers in Medellin, and dancing festivities. The Friendship Day is a whole holiday just to celebrate friendship. They send cards to friends. They even could buy gifts for their friends, and a lot of people even have the day off. It's very similar to what we celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day. They also have a Friendship Day. Another tradition in Colombia, specifically in the city of Medellin, is the Festival of Flowers. This is a huge yearly event that takes place in Medellin, and it is a festivity where farmers throughout Colombia um, travel into Medellin carrying flowers on their backs, um, thousands of flowers. They go down into the valley of Medellin with these flowers, and then there they create huge parade floats and displays to be put on in shows. There are many other festivities that go along with the flower festival, of course, dancing and food, and but the main event is these flowers and the hard work that these farmers put into the displays, showing off their crops for that year. The final tradition that I'll talk about in Colombia is dancing. I don't think you can talk about Colombia and not talk about dancing. According to the Embassy of Colombia website, the most popular form of Colombian dancing is called cumbia. Obviously, there are many other forms of dancing, such as salsa, merengue, but cumbia is a specific dance in Colombia. It began in the 19th century and was strongly influenced by African cultures and tradition. It's most well known near the coast of Colombia in a city called Cali. The instruments played during the music include drums and flutes, as well as maracas. It's a very light sounding song, and is often danced with couples in a circle. And then for effects, lighted candles or large skirts with the Colombian flag colors could be presented while dancing. However, for Colombians, dancing is not just a show. Sometimes it's just for amusement and fun. In my relationship, I was born in Wisconsin, which is obviously very far from Colombia, and dancing is not part of our culture. My husband, on the other hand, his mom had taught him to dance since he could walk, and he knew the steps and he knew all these traditions of dancing in his family. Not only that, these dances were performed at every family event. Even just a Mother's Day dinner, they would break out into dance, and that was their celebration and their way of showing love to each other and just spending time with each other. So my husband has done what he can to try to teach me these dances, to be part of that culture of dancing, but I still have a lot of work to go in that regard. A huge part of these family gatherings in Colombia is food. Colombia is known around the world for their coffee, but they also have some amazing food. For example, according to Wikipedia, in Medellin, bandeja paisa is a common dish that includes rice and beans, ground meat or carne asada, which is steak, fried egg, chorizo, and chicharrón. It may also be accompanied by tomato or avocado. This is the most popular dish in the city of Medellin. You can, even in Colombian restaurants in the United States, order bandeja paisa, and it's a very large meal, but it will include those staple items. Much like in the United States, ordering a steak that may come with some type of potato or starch and a vegetable. I have seen varying differences just within Colombian culture in their food. My father-in-law is from the city of Medellin, and my mother-in-law is from the city of Bogota. And although these two cities are not very far apart, only a couple hours, they vary greatly in their traditions and cultures within their own country. For example, a very common food in Colombia is called an arepa, and it's like a corn flour tortilla. My father-in-law cooks his very flat, and he likes them burnt on both sides, and he serves them with eggs or even with cheese, sometimes served on top. Where my mother-in-law cooks them very thick, and they have cheese in the flour, cooked inside, and they're usually just served on the side of any dish, just as like a little bread or an appetizer. Seeing such differences in their food, even though they're only a few hours apart in the same country. Although Colombian and American cultures seem to be opposite in so many ways, such as their religion, their traditions, and their food, we have just discussed that we can all come together and share our cultures and experiences. We can learn and grow from each other, sharing our cultures only enhances our own culture. I have definitely seen this in my family, that we have Colombian traditions, but we also have American traditions. And because of that, I feel like our children will be even more tolerant and more accepting of future cultures and generations that they're going to encounter. When we can accept others for who they are and where they come from, we will be a richer society full of various cultures and traditions and can be one peaceful global community. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.